Hey there. For 6+ years, we've had the privilege of serving as pastors at the church, and I am just excited to share additional news about our next. As we were talking about the church during our staff meeting, what I appreciated was you shared the difference between a Red Sea experience and crossing the Jordan. Will you just share that with the church?
When they came out of Egypt and they had to cross over the Red Sea, they were fresh out of slavery. They didn't know how to war. They didn't know how to take care of themselves. All they knew was what the harsh taskmasters was telling them to do. But after they had wandered in the wilderness, God had killed off a generation of slaves. They had grown. They had gotten used to taking care of themselves in a different kind of environment. There was a maturity that ended up settling and happening. And so then God brings them to the second great miracle. The second greatest miracle in the entire Israelite history is the crossing of the Sea of Jordan. And that's where I believe that we are. I believe that God is corralling the nation of Israel, if you would, the church, and that we are able to stand there and see first impossibility if we look in the natural, but certainly possibility if we look at the fact that God has brought us out of our Egypt, and that now we're being positioned and poised, ready to take that next step of faith, which would be heels and feet in the Jordan River.
Beautiful. And I think as you were sharing that story with me earlier, and even as I recount what you just stated, it's important that we even understand why we're moving. You know, that, okay, to have another location or a different to be in our location, that's nice, that's good, but what else? And one of the things that we really want is, of course, unrestricted ministry. I think that's obvious. We've had a wonderful opportunity at the Seventh-day Adventist Korean Church. Wonderful opportunity, but it is what it is, and we do everything on Sunday mornings. And to have unrestricted ministry opportunities be great, from the men's ministry, women's ministry, to have even natural things such as a Zumba class. I know, men, you don't Zumba. Do men Zumba?
I don't know one that does, but what you're talking about really is about establishing community. And, you know, I'm watching in a very organic way small groups start.
Yes.
And, you know, of course, small groups are the latest fad, and many ministries invest lots of money in the structuring and the pastoral staff of small groups, and we'll be there one day. We'll have a pastor on staff to do small groups, but you're looking at Zion, how they're so close knit, and you're looking at the divas. You guys sat together not long ago and just talked for 2 hours with 20 plus women on a Saturday, many even driving from far southwest Atlanta. We're watching the men, you know, we're kind of doing our thing. We're watching the young adults that don't want to be a part of the adult worship.
Right.
All these small groups that are forming, and to be able to expand the stamp of availability on a weekend would be absolutely wonderful. God has been really good to us, and we're grateful for the season that God has brought us to, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. A lot of areas have been healed, and we're thoroughly grateful for that. I even have now a very tender spot in my heart to be able to open our doors and to be able to make available space and an opportunity for God to send another church.
Yeah, we can identify.
Yeah,
you know,
indeed.
if it wasn't for the SDA opening up their facility, we wouldn't be in the position we're in. So to be a blessing to another ministry, I mean, what a kingdom expression.
Most certainly. But then also there is the heart of developing people.
Yeah.
Paul is really clear when he says that the ministry is really amongst the saints. It's not us. It's not who holds the microphones. It's not the preacher or the bishop or the apostle, but it's the ministry of the saints. And you are called to be leaders. Whether you'll ever preach a sermon or say that you preached a sermon, a lot of bootleg preachers out there that preach a sermon, but you're called to be leaders. And actually, before this opportunity came, there had been a lot of due diligence that you and I both had done, and not only with the English as a second language and how it is that we could position ourselves when God would open a door, but also even for how is it that we can grow our people? How can we develop and cultivate the leader that is in you, a leader at your home, at your workplace, even at your schools or wherever you might be, cultivating that leadership, those practical life lessons. And so this again gives us the opportunity of actually being able to do that. Now we have at our cusp two very, very important dates. We will enter into covenant with each other and with the Lord on the last Sunday in the month of October, October 28th. Everybody needs to make plans on being at worship, being in worship on that Sunday. It'll be a corporate expression as we enter into covenant. And so we're going to bring our very first official corporate offering on that Sunday. Now, no, you don't have to wait. Today, tomorrow, next Sunday, there'll be special envelopes for us to be able to make and meet this goal. And there's an auspicious goal of $60,000. $37,000 will go straight to the landlord, our first month, and a security deposit. And when we've completed our tenure there, we will get back that $30,000 to be able to make an investment in whatever our next is. Then we need to buy some chairs, about $13,000 worth of chairs. Chairs about $45 each. We need roughly 300 chairs. And then $10,000 will go towards just turning a house into a home, making it us. God has so outfitted the place that we're moving to. A church was there, and it is church ready. Very little has to be done, and I'm really excited of the fineries and the finish work that's actually there that we will be able to likely enjoy. So I want you to remember October 28th, our first corporate offering Sunday. And then on December 2nd. Now this is a bit odd. This actually might be our move-in date. And if it's our move-in date, on our first Sunday in, we will bring our offering, or we might have to delay the move-in just a little bit. It's a little odd, especially in retail, moving in the middle of a month and taking possession, at an odd time. But I want you to remember those two dates, October 28th, and then also December 2nd. Those will be the two official Sundays that we bring our corporate offerings. But don't you dare not watch this video and think that you cannot give whenever you get ready. Go online, bring it on a Sunday, on a Wednesday, mail it in, whatever. I think that we can do it.
I know we can do it. I know we can do it. I want us to end with just a snippet of our history, because some people don't even know the meager beginnings we had. I mean, we started with 28 people who journeyed to the Gwinnett Center.
Stop. Before they journeyed, they heard.
They heard
God
You're
speak
right.
to them.
Yes,
They knew that they were supposed to be a part of us.
True.
I was committed not to build the Lord's house. We were standing on Psalm 127, lest the Lord build it. They that labor in vain. And so we let God speak. That was the first step.
Yes.
They heard, and then 28 folks showed up.
So they show up. We get ready for a service. We didn't know how many would come, but here we are 6+ years later, after many locations,
scars, bruises,
yes sir,
betrayals, victories.
Hey,
and knowing a whole lot more about God.
A whole lot more. And you know what? We're here today because they not only saw the vision, but they also supported the vision in prayer. They supported the vision financially. They supported the vision by being there. And we're here today by the simple fact that we just have those who saw the cause and poured into the cause. And we just pray that you do the same thing, that this isn't just about you, but it's about those to come.
Interesting when you read that story, when their feet touch the water, the waters part. Let's prepare ourselves to watch a miracle happen.